I'm Caleb from Lunar Horizon, and today what we're going to talk about is organizing your assets and recognizing what your assets are. So here are some 3 assets we're going to be talking about. It's going to be your community assets, your profitable assets, and your personal assets. So we're going to start off with your community assets. See, these are going to be your family, your friends, your neighbors, and strangers. So your family is your biggest asset. If you don't have a family and you have friends that you consider family, put those in the same category. We can essentially add these 2 together. Because that's going to be your support system to get you through the hard times, to maybe assist them to getting them through their hard times. That's going to be your emotional support. That's going to be like, hey, we got you, let's actually develop a plan and actually execute on the plan if it does happen. Then we have our neighbors. Those are iffy, but like let's actually care about people and say, hey, do you need any help? Like if you see like a grandma that actually needs some help shoveling her snow, go out there, shovel her snow, help her out, because other people will do the same. It's contagious. We need that positivity and not all this negativity in this world, because there's a lot of it. And if you're on that device, that phone, the block of death is what I call it, it's going to really dig into your psychic, or your subconscious, I should say. And it's just going to be, you're just going to be a negative person. Don't be a negative person. Help somebody out. Strangers. So this one is very, very iffy. So you have to understand when to help a stranger out, and you have to use your best judgment. So normally when it's somebody that needs help jumping their car, I got some jumper cables, man. I'm gonna go help them out in a public setting, in a public area. Do it where there's multiple people around. If they're on the side of a highway and you see them struggling to change their tire, you got a car jack in the back, or help them out a little bit. I'm not saying do it all the time. I'm saying use your best judgment to help them out, because you never know, you might come across them later down the road and you're in a hard time. So I've heard a bunch of stories along those lines where one of my friends, he was driving his truck. His truck broke down, got a flat, and his buddy came up out of nowhere and helped him fix the flat. And they were talking, shooting the shit, having a good old day. And then a couple years later, he drove by this dude, didn't really know, but he decided to go help him out. And so he was helping him out, changing his tire, just to give back. And his friend, right behind him, not essentially like right behind him, but like 10 minutes away, comes up and is like, hey man, long time no see. And it's like, hey, you help out a stranger that you don't know, you might see your friend again. I know that's just like one story, but there's multiple stories like that though. So be hesitant with strangers, but also use your best judgment when to help a stranger. Alright, now we're going to go over your profitable assets. That's going to be your business, your rental properties, your salon, your barbershop, your gas stations, anything that generates revenue and that you collect from it, and you have to file to the IRS for it. And so some of the things that you're going to need to put in your binder and stash, maybe one at your house and then one online, depending on what the item is, and then maybe stash it at and then have one at your business place, and then maybe if you have a trusting friend or business partner, that you've been in business for a while with, maybe they have one stashed over there at their house. And so you're going to need your EIN number. That's your employment identification number. Then you're going to need your insurance, which you can go your property insurance, and then your liability insurance. That's if you're in a, just in general, that's a umbrella insurance. Then you're going to need your passwords for your websites and your emails. Just put those, print them out, put them in your little binder that you have, stash them at each place. Bank account information, do the same as well. Be careful, depending on your business partner. Maybe you guys have two different bank accounts for the business, one that you control and one that he controls, so you don't have all your eggs in one basket. Some extra cash on standby, just in case you were to experience like a tornado or a blizzard or something where the electrical grid just goes out and you got some cash on hand to pay for your bills or to pay for some operating expenses that you need to continually to conduct to run your business. Then you need like vehicle insurance, and then if you do have one vehicle, or if you don't really need a vehicle and you run a service company like web platform, and you're like, hey, I help you out, you help me out on this sort of thing. So like YouTube, for example, you see a lot of people, you don't really need a vehicle for YouTube. I'm doing it right now. Then we go into personal. So if you're just by yourself, you just need your own social security number, birth certificate, but we're just going to broad stroke it, and we'll do for your entire family. So you need social security numbers, possibly make copies, put those in safe areas, put them safe, get all those documents together. Your birth certificate, your insurance, so your policies, your life, your health, your car and your property or vehicle insurance. Make copies of those, put them in the binder. Cash for 6 months or any other liquidable asset, put those in a safe spot, a safe, but don't put everything in one safe. Maybe have multiple safes stashed across your house, maybe like one or two. Your wills, make copies of those. It's a horrible subject to talk about, but it needs to be done because you know what? I'm gonna die. We're all gonna die one of these days. And get that will in place, get it done. Give yourself at least 6 months of food, water, and medical. And that will lead us into your medical history. So if you're diabetic, hey, gotta get the insulin, and make sure you get that insulin and put it in a nice cold container just so you can have it on standby. Maybe you have like a broken leg, or maybe we could just do something simple. We need like a simple burn dressing or Neosporin, any like triple antibiotics, some ibuprofen, just little stuff to keep the annoyances at bay until stuff gets back up and running. So that's all I have for you today. Take care, be safe.